Good morning, and welcome back for another episode of Grandpa Fatmouth's ICYMI. I'm Jason Alderman, the internet's favorite fat-mouthed fat ass, bringing you fat stacks of fucked facts. I've been running on about 3.5 hours of sleep, so let's get this shindig started. The weekly news cycle moves fast, and we got some shit to cover. But first things first, I've noticed a few new subscribers out there sharing their time with me, and I wanted to say thank you for doing that. It gives me the drive to keep spreading the word. Everyone is acting shocked watching Disney destroy Star Wars. I'm only going to say this once, because I don't want to get sued. What the fuck were you expecting from the jokers who brought you the first Tyler Durden moment when you were a kid? Have you ever watched the naked woman in the window in the apartment building as the seagull carries the two rodents in the Rescuers movie? Chalk another few points up on the board for Mark Zuckerberg, letting AOC clown herself. But let's be clear, the only reason the meat man, Mark, gives a shit about your privacy is marketing. About a month ago, he was realizing that there was a huge portion of the populace not being heard at all, let alone catered to. And that means moolah to the money mogul like Zuck. And let's be honest, his rep and his site have been shit for a while now. I'm not saying to follow him, I'm saying he's a false messiah, a Judas goat, if you will. Moving on. Worst Journalist of the Year, Don Lemon, Worst Journalist of the Year, posts a video about someone else accusing Trump of being a paper tiger. I guess they missed my bit about Apple dipping into India. At least you guys understand that this means the global expectation of economic strength is falling dramatically by the minute in China. How strong do you think the economy is in Turkey? If you're as curious about Barr and Durham as I am, here's a tiny tidbit about each. Barr recently expanded the bounds of his investigation into the origins of the steel smear job, and Durham has recently gained access to the phone records of one Joseph Mifsud. These things are bigger than anyone's letting on yet, and they may just be a wedge to widen the door between the story we were given and what really kicked off the steel fantasy, or it may catch a few bigger fish that might cough up some more details. More trail to follow, like so many breadcrumbs, all the way back to, let's say, before 2012, until they dig a little deeper. Trump tells New York to go frack itself. That kind of show could bring in a lot of dough. Warren recoils in horror when pressed about Hillary storming the campaign after skipping those pesky debates. It's okay, Beth. Most people recoil from Hillary. Tucker Carlson calls me out. Yeah, no, not really. He did, however, touch on one of the reasons I started doing this. He posted a recent video entitled, "Humiliation Can Be the Beginning of Wisdom." Yes, Tucker, but I think it's still a stretch in Hill Dog's case. CNN and CBS are the first to cry out from what is likely an industry-wide collapse of trust, viewership, ratings, and relevance. CNN brings up Trump's "shoot someone on Fifth Avenue" quote in a video titled like it was a yesterday statement. Slow news week, huh? And here I thought it was me who needed to use more clickbait. The g.o.p. finally grew some balls and walked through the doors at the Peach Mint Power Ranger Clubhouse. The green one must be Joe. Who says the conservative has to respect the rules if the Dems aren't going to play by them anyway? Sleepy Joe gave a town hall meeting that I had to sit through. From what I gathered, it was about wasting time telling stories, redirecting the blunder of Obamacare, and school reform of some sort. I wrote this script while I listened to it. Can you tell? At least Andrew Yang had his folks laughing. So here's an idea, and don't worry, there will be a quiz at the end. There are 3 old guys running for president today: Bernie, Joe, and Donald. Bernie is like a sneaky midnight uncle who wants to take you swimming and then out for ice cream, but you know better than to trust him, so you wear your trunks under your pants. Then there's Joe, but he's full of rambling stories tied together with just how out of touch he is, kind of like your grandpa, which might be cute, but for all the Mueller manipulations he goes through.
The guy's done before. I'm the only one up here who's ever beat the NRA.
And Trump. He's not a great dad, more like a cool stepdad. He gets things done and he's there for you. He may not be the guy you wish you had, but he's the guy who's here, making it work. So, Who would you rather spend your time with? Well, let's all pretend like our opinions matter and put that shit in the comments below. And remember, this is YouTube, so do all the things.